part of our problem sometimes as black people, you know, and this has a lot to do with naivety and innocence in terms of thinking. That we expect the powers of be, you know, to come to their senses and say, oh, we was wrong, you know, so and so and so and so. It ain't never gonna happen, you know. Anything that people have got, they've taken it. And that goes for our music, you know. And, you know, they have, you know, the systems in place to be able to control an environment, you know. So like, if we don't have our own radio stations, if we don't have our own magazines, publications, if we don't have our own pressing plants, and if we don't have our own things, then we always have to go to somebody else to say, hey, do this for me, do that for me, rare, you know. You know, I'm not into the begging bowl business. I'm a do for self kind of person. You know, we must do for ourselves. That's what I advocate. That's what I try to encourage. Unity is power, unity is strength. You know, in fact, I was just saying to somebody yesterday, back in the 30s and 20s, 30s, 40s, they used to call the Chinese, the Japanese did, they used to call the Chinese the sick men of Asia, because the Chinese had them under occupation. You know, look how big China is. You know, the Chinese ain't the sick men of Asia today. They're in every country, you know, vying their business, making their money, doing whatever. They ain't sick today. They are not weak today. And that's because they've taken it. They've taken it to wherever they want. Do you understand me? And that's the kind of mindset black people have to get in every aspect of life. You know, don't wait for it to be given, because nobody giving it to you. You have to take it. And that's really what's got to happen now. So, you know, in terms of the music, yeah, you know, like, you know, the record companies, white, you know, everything. I mean, take rap, it's $1 billion industry, right? When rap came out, you know, when hip hop came out, you know, they thought it was a passing fad, and the white companies all looked down on it, rubbished it, in fact. But then they realized this thing's growing, man, and it's growing big, and they can make money, you know. So they instigated the whole thing where hip hop was about free expression and about positivity and speaking up about reality. They went and, you know, they instigated this thing called gangster rap. This is a fact. They instigated this thing called gangster rap. And, you know, basically for money, basically the young people prostituted themselves for these white companies to basically, you know, chat homogenized music, you know, negative music. You know, when, you know, the young people needed to hear positivity. So they dangled this carrot of money, and they showed these images of fur coats and cigars and big mansions that they just rented for a day for the video, you know. And this is what youths wanted, so to speak. You know, 50 Cent, when he come out with that track called Get Rich or Die Trying, youths have told me to my face, you know, they took that philosophy on board. Do you understand me? And implemented it into their lives, you know, to, you know, the focus was just to make money, loads of money. But what are you going to do with the money? You know, because there's no positive philosophy behind them, you know, and that was instigated by a few, you know, white men basically, you know. So this is why I say I ain't changed, you see, because in terms of positivity and things being set right, it hasn't changed. You know, we still don't have the power over our own being. We're not in control of our destiny. I mean, we have to take control, but you know, on a whole, as a people, you know, we're not in control. Somebody else is in control, and they will always find somebody, you know, that's cheap enough to be bought and sold. You know, because many times in the past, people have said to me, "Boy, Tann-i, you not make it yet, man." And I say, "Well, what's your definition of making it?" You know, maybe if I shaved my head this way and dyed my hair that way and chatted a load of rubbish, you know, maybe I would make it and make loads of money. But then at whose expense? Who would I influence? Because I don't want to influence nobody in any negative way. Because the way I was raised, the good you do will follow you, and also the bad. So if I'm going to be a bad influence on people, I'm going to pay for it some way or another. So I couldn't have that on my conscience. So any music that I release, any music that I write, you know, I can stand proud to put my name on it. And people that know me, they'll be very, very shocked if they hear anything, you know, negative coming from me. They'll be very, very shocked, because nobody knows me like that.